Monday night Q&A with Coach Rebecca live session. I am here as usual on Mondays to answer your questions and help you figure out what's standing between you and your ultimate peak performance. If it's our first time meeting, I'm Rebecca Smith. I'm a high performance coach and I specialize in working with athletes age 8 to 18 on all kinds of performance issues, ranging from fear and mental blocks through confidence building. And then my favorite part is once we've kind of got that foundation, then we go into finding flow. And that's the experience of taking you from good to incredible. So even if you are not experiencing, a mental block or lack of confidence, flow training is something that professional athletes are all doing now. So that's what I've been embracing ever since I started working with kids. And today's question has a lot to do with flow. Now, if you want to get more from me, I offer one-on-one coaching through Skype or FaceTime, and I also have a complete online mental toughness training facility that is building and growing. Hi, Natasha. And that's at performhappy.com. We would love to have you. And today, hi, Randy. All right, people are logging in, joining us. Today, our question comes from a swimmer. So that's why I brought up flow. Although I just got an amazing email from a member today that said that her daughter is finding flow in gymnastics. So flow is not something that you only get if you are in water. This is something that you get while playing chess, or while giving a speech, or while taking a test, or while playing your sport. And obviously, if you guys are here, you're looking probably to improve your sport. Just know that if you improve flow anywhere, you improve it everywhere. So here's our question, our first question today. Also, if you have questions and you're on here live, feel free to type them in and let me know what's going on for you, and I will do my very best to get to it as quickly as possible. Oh, yay! Hi from a swim mom in New Zealand. Okay, great. So swimming is going to probably be our topic today, but of course, you guys can always apply this to any other sport where there's pressure to perform. And of course, if you're in a timed sport, like track and field, competitive shooting, then this will definitely apply. But so here's the question, and here's what happens when somebody signs up to get on my email list. I always ask, what is your biggest struggle right now? Because I want to make sure that I am creating content that's actually helping people who are following me. And so this was a response I got recently. And this swimmer said, honestly, my biggest problem is a pretty big one. It's being confident in my races and overthinking the race right before it. So I'm guessing what this means is that you lack confidence in your races, probably even though you train a crazy amount of hours, you still for some reason are like, I don't know if I'm going to come through under pressure. You probably have trouble focusing on what's important in the moment because you're so worried about a time or what happened in the last race or what your coach is going to think or who you're racing next to. And all of this leads to having trouble letting things go. And meanwhile, you're burning up all this extra energy. And when you are trying to beat a time by 100th of a second, do you think a tiny bit of energy matters? Yes, it matters so much. So you have to make sure that you're conserving all of your energy by not focusing on all these other things. And really, you just get in the water and swim. And wouldn't it be cool if it was that easy? And some coaches are like, come on, just swim. What's your problem? And if it was that easy, I would not have a job. So here's how you get yourself to just get in the water and swim without all this negative self-talk or self-doubt or lack of focus. It's through what has been deemed by scientists a flow experience. And flow is one of those moments where all of your training clicks in, it all falls into place, your focus is 100% energized and locked in on exactly what you're supposed to be focusing on in the moment. And that's probably not the score and not your last race and not your next race, but it's literally the breath you're taking or not taking. It's the stroke, it's the kick, it's your body and what your body is doing. And if you can become completely immersed in that, you no longer are even aware that there's a clock. You're not aware that anybody's watching you. You are just swimming. You are just flowing through the water and it feels incredible. And I talk about the perform happy mindset, and flow is it. because it is one of the most inherently good feeling experiences you can ever have. To put out all of the energy you possibly can and have it turn over into this great performance that doesn't even feel hard. You don't feel tense, you just feel amazing. So basically that's my prescription to you, swimmer, is you need some flow. And now how do you get flow? I'm going to give you guys a quick overview, because it's not a complicated topic, but there are some specific characteristics that go into it. So I'll give you an overview and then I'll let you know how you can find more flow if you want it. All right, so basically over my time working with hundreds of swimmers and studying flow, I came up with the requirements for it, the characteristics of it, and how to get more of it. And flow, I'm hoping you guys are with me here. It's kind of this like vague concept, but it's, if you've had it, you know. And the good thing about it is that it's contagious. So if you've had a little bit of flow, if you've been like, yeah, I did have that one practice when it was really hard, it was a really hard set, and it was an interval that I never thought I would make, but for some reason I made it, like, yes, that was flow. And flow usually happens not on the easy sets where you're like warming up. This is during the set where you're like, my coach is insane. I can't do that. What does he expect? I've never made that interval. Of course, you're not having those negative thoughts, but that's the type of set that's like really difficult. That maybe a conditioning set where you're like, ooh, I don't know if I'm going to survive this, but here goes nothing. And the thing about it is that here's the challenge up here, and your skill level is maybe just below it. But when you lock in your focus and you lock in your motivation on that one thing, like, all right, I just got to make that one interval, then something gets unlocked in you that allows you to do it. It's those peak performance moments. So here are the characteristics of flow. Complete focus on the task at hand. You feel in control of your thoughts and emotions. You're not self-conscious. Time actually warps. For some people, time speeds up. For some, it feels like you're in slow motion. It's because of the way that the brain is operating. The time function is kind of switched off. So time feels weird. You have this heightened sense of awareness of your body. So maybe you're tingly or warm, and there's a complete absence of strain or tension. So you're working really hard, but it feels good. It's crazy. And I hope you guys get more of it, more and more. Okay, how do you find it? Now, here are the factors that influence the flow state. These are the things that you need to train in order to get more of this. The first one is preparation. Of course, you need to be physically prepared. You need to be training. If you've only ever swam a 59 and you're going for a 32, like, okay, you're not ready for that. You have to be physically prepared. So that's your physical coaching, your dry land. Then there's the mental preparation, and that's where I come in. You've got to train your mind to be ready for these situations. And the most important things to train are confidence, which comes from both past experiences that are successful, the way you talk to yourself, the feedback you get from other people, the way that you imagine yourself doing the performance, what you expect to happen, how your peers are performing. All of that is combined into building up confidence. Also, focus. Now, I know our swimmer here definitely mentioned focus, and focus is a tricky thing to train, but it is absolutely possible to do it. And one of my favorite ways to train focus is through meditation. It's mindfulness practice. Basically, it's being still and being present and noticing thoughts that come and go and coming back to breathing. And I've got tons of meditations on the Perform Happy app and in the Perform Happy community that help you start to practice that and train your brain to be present, especially in this time of smartphones and instant gratification. And oh my gosh, I can't remember that guy's name. Let me Google it. There is no waiting. There is no just being and wondering. So we actually have to practice that. And if you think about, top NBA teams, NFL teams, they all have sports psychologists and they all meditate. Some of them do yoga, which is a form of meditation because it's being present and being with your breath. And some of them literally sit on the gym floor with their eyes closed and breathe. And it might sound crazy to some of you guys, but the reason that they do it is because it works. It actually changes the structure of your brain to allow you to focus better and manage your emotions and manage your thoughts. So I can't say enough about meditation. And so thoughts and emotions have to be under control too. And there are tons of ways to train your mind to think more positively, or at least to let go of the negatives and bring back your focus to something useful. Another key element of flow is knowing how the performance is progressing. So if you're on lap 1 of 4 and you're feeling like, okay, my pace is good. Yep, I think I'm on track here. And then you hit the wall and you're like, yep, that felt good. That means that you're aware, you're in the moment. Instead of being like, I hope I get the time, I hope I get the time. Oh my gosh, that guy's beating me. Instead, you're going, yes, this feels right. Okay, yep, I got it. That feeling like you're getting instant feedback from your own focus on whether or not it's going well is critical. You have to be able to go, ooh, no, I'm not on track. I have to adjust this. I got to kick more, or I got to pull more. Or you have to go, whoa, I'm going out a little fast. I have to pull it back. So in the moment, you must be able to change course when necessary, and that will allow you to drop into flow. And I mentioned also mindfulness training. The final couple of things is motivation. Your motivation has to be there. You have to want to reach that interval. You really have to want it. You have to want it bad. And you got to want it for a good reason. Not because like you're going to be punished by your coach, but because it's going to be awesome. And then the other one is energizing. Some people perform really well when they are like bouncing off the walls, energized, and they need to listen to music and they need to jump around. And some people perform better when they're fully relaxed. They're super calm. They're completely zen. And you got to know for yourself what that ideal state is so that you can get there. And all of those things combined increase your chances of finding flow. So that's a super quick crash course in finding flow. I have a 16 session overview of flow. That's the complete flow formula in the Perform Happy community. So if this resonates, if you're like, yes, this is what I need, then go check out the Perform Happy community and get into the flow course, because that will change your life. And now I'm going to give you a quick example of a swimmer who sounds kind of similar to the swimmer who asked the question. I'm going to call this guy Evan. His name is not actually Evan because I value client confidentiality. But Evan came to me because he was showing a lot of talent, but he kept kind of melting down before races and he kept overthinking. And he was this incredibly smart guy. And most of the swimmers I work with that get nervous, they're super smart, super, talented and capable, but they think so much that it actually shuts their bodies down and kind of zaps their energy. So here's what I did with Evan. We figured out a way to overthink the heck out of the race before the day, so that when he got there, he was like, okay, I have already thought so much about this race. There's nothing more to think. And he literally just jumped in and swam. And then he qualified for junior nationals that day after we had worked together. So I know this stuff really works. What we did was I had him break down exactly everything that he needed to do at every single point during his race. All of the details, the way that his feet felt when they were leaving the blocks, the way everything felt and looked, and the taste of chlorine in his mouth, and exactly the cuts. And he basically designed his perfect race. And then we broke it down into the very most critical things. And I had him actually record it. And this is another training I have in the Flow series in the Perform Happy community, is how to create a custom imagery script. So he created this whole script. He read it to himself on his voice memo in his phone. And then he played it back to himself whenever he just needed a confidence boost. It was exactly to the time that he wanted to create. And it was perfectly perfect. From beginning to end. He listened to it, he listened to it, he listened to it, he listened to it. When he got there that day, he knew that it was in there. He trusted his mental preparation and his physical preparation. He dove in, he hit flow, he got his cut, and then he sent me a thank you, which was awesome. And that's what I want you guys to do, is figure out exactly what you want to create and then decide what it will look like. And I actually do this too for my personal goals. I record a script. I come up with a custom imagery script of exactly what I'm looking to create. I listen to it and I listen to it and I listen to it. And then I just trust that my brain is on board and I don't have to force it. So that's our session for today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, Rebecca@performhappy.com. And if you want more, feel free to reach out and let me know what you need if you have any specific questions. And if you want to download, I have a free pre-performance race strategy planner for swimmers, or for anybody really. If you want a pre-performance strategy that will kind of lock you in, get your mind tight, then there's a link in the description. Go ahead and click that, download it, enjoy, and I will see you guys again next week.